Okay, here we are, One Piece chapter 1011. The official translation is out, so guys, per usual, we take the time to break that down. We're gonna start off with this beautiful color spread. So the norm on this channel is to compare two characters with these color spreads, Nami and Robin, and say who's hotter, or who Oda chose to display in a better light in this spread. And for me, honestly, it's a toss-up because we got more of a body shot for Robin, but Nami and what she's doing, I mean, come on. So I'm gonna lead towards Nami, I'm not gonna lie, but this one is really close. Other than that, a really cool spread of all the Straw Hats. Really love seeing them in this light, but we're not gonna waste any more time. We're gonna get to the chapter, but first, if you enjoy content like this and would like to see more going forward, please subscribe to the channel. You may have watched a few videos before and haven't realized you're not subscribed. Take this time out to subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and drop a like as well. And now let's get to chapter 1011. So typically, again, when a chapter initially comes out, it's a quick discussion about the chapter, talking about major things, but we don't get into specifics. Now is the time we do so. I understand that some people may be frustrated when I don't talk about every single thing initially, but trust me, eventually I will get there. And this leads us to Kid and Killer. So in the last chapter, we saw that they were going after Big Mom. They were supposed to take care of her. In this chapter, it seems like Big Mom has developed a new homie. This homie is Hera. They thought they had already dealt with the lightning homie. So seeing Big Mom come back floating using Hera, of course it was pretty shocking, right? Based on this chapter, there are a few theories floating around. And when this happens, I try to bring them to you guys because I'm sure everybody isn't as, tuned into everything that's going on in the community, but I try to help you guys with that. One thing is the theory about Prometheus and Hera and Zeus and pretty much the sentience around them. People were trying to associate Big Mom's past and the kids, her friends that she ate, and Mother Carmel, and say, hey, Big Mom's main homies, parts of her soul that she's put into these homies, they're mixed in with her family and the people she killed that she unconsciously still doesn't realize that she did. The only problem is that Prometheus was created by Mother Carmel, and this is from a fire in Elbaf. So it's really hard to pinpoint that exact thing and say, hey, this is an actual outcome, but I thought it was interesting. We need some more information before we can jump there, but I think Oda is definitely trending in the route to touch on Big Mom's past eventually, or touch on it again. However, Big Mom has moved on from Zeus, I think. By creating Hera at Prometheus's request or getting some advice from Prometheus, I think Big Mom has realized it's time to upgrade, it's time to move away from Zeus. I mean, Zeus is like Big Mom, always getting taken advantage of and put in situations which it's unfortunate. So for Big Mom, she moves on to Hera. So Hera's attack again was pretty powerful to the point that Kid had to release, or Zeus got away from Kid's metal. This told me something as well, where Kid's metal, it's not really a passive ability. So for him using this attack, it was taking some strength to keep it active. So after getting that blow from Big Mama, almost getting hit that way, that shock, maybe he lost focus, and that allowed Zeus to get away. Law isn't the MVP of the rooftop, right? But I think you can look at the decisions Law has made, and you can somehow come to that justification. And here I like when Law takes control and uses his IQ and just his battle sense and decides, okay, this is the best thing to do right now. I'd mentioned that I think Law comes back to the rooftop, I think could happen, or eventually Law and Kid join Luffy again, which leads us into Luffy versus Kaido. There's some dialogue here that we should talk about that isn't really getting much attention, but I think it could be, or could have some deeper meaning. And this is Kaido talking to Luffy about his smile, saying, looks like you're enjoying this fight. The greater the risk, the wider your smile. And the wider your smile, and it's some suspense there. What does this mean? To me, this is an obvious hint at the will of D, and we're getting closer and closer to what this really means, which could be a sneak peek in terms of Luffy's growth, which it's saying the greater the risk, the wider the smile, and the wider the smile, could this lead to other things, other growth potential for Luffy based on the things he's put himself through. I don't know, but the will of D, I think, obviously not a tangible thing, but it is a real thing that we have to get discovered at some point. And I think Oda is doing a pretty masterful job of keeping us intrigued or enthralled by this actual message, this theme, without giving too much away. Of course, we have some inclination of what it could be, but I think this dialogue is pretty significant, and I'm sure we're gonna double back at some point and say, okay, now I get what Kaido was talking about. Now, the Kaido and Luffy's clash, I know it bothered some people because now Luffy's fighting Kaido 1v1, and seemingly he is matching him equally in regards to advanced conquerors. We have just learned about this technique in regards to coding your attacks in Haki. We've seen it before, but now we finally understand, at least somewhat, how it works. I'm not ready to jump and say Luffy's on Kaido's level, or Luffy can beat Kaido, but Luffy's fighting in base. So once Luffy goes to Gear 4th, or maybe a new gear. What's gonna happen there? Now, the jump for Luffy, I think the argument that I hate people use is saying, oh, we're 1,000 plus chapters in, Luffy should be this strong, which I don't think matters in my opinion, because the story is a story. And the only passage of time I care about is how much time has passed in the story. So I don't care if a story is 1,500 chapters. If there's only 2 weeks that's passed in a story, then it should make sense based on the story. For Luffy's a bit different, where again, it's been weeks in Wano and we saw Luffy's initial bout with Kaido, but I think the misconception there is that we're assuming that that was Luffy's best. Even though he went to Gear 4th and all that, and he got one shot with Thunder Bagua, this was Luffy after a devastating moment with his friends, he assumed. So that wasn't an accurate assessment. I said it back then. This is not an accurate assessment of how strong Luffy is. So now, seeing Luffy go this far with Kaido, some people are taken aback, but I think you have to understand the growth that happened in Udon. Yes, the growth may be exponential, but the Straw Hats have always grown this way, even going back to Enies Lobby. They went from Water 7, they fought a few fodder, no one even that strong, T-Bone I guess for Zoro, and after they got to Enies Lobby, Zoro said they've grown several levels stronger. So for the Straw Hats, growth has always been jumps every single arc, and Luffy, especially these past few arcs, has gone through a transformation in so many different ways, from Future Sight to Advanced Conqueror's Haki to even Patience. So I'm not too mad at the jump, but I try not to take it too seriously and try to quantify how strong he should be, because at this point, and I've said this before and I'm gonna keep saying it, One Piece is gonna One Piece, so just enjoy it how it comes. I think for some people, power scaling is part of story consistency for them, which it is, but for some it's just about the story and how it's progressing. So that's how I feel about that. Honestly, I'm just here for the ride. If Luffy and Kaido are gonna throw hands, I'm here for it, because I don't think Luffy's gonna finish Kaido on his own. I think others may come to help him, because there's a daunting moment coming where we're gonna think Luffy's gonna lose. So let's just sit tight. It's coming. So now Kid and Killer are back inside the castle and we run into Hawkins. It's interesting because this is the first time apparently Kid has seen Hawkins ever since that fated bout between them and Kaido. So Kid is saying you have some nerve, which makes sense because Kid and Killer fought Kaido and Hawkins and Apu. They turned tail, but Apu, he had already sold them out and Hawkins did so on the spot. I don't know why that matters, because either way you both betrayed him. Granted, that's not the Yonko you were going for, so the specifics and particulars with that are weird, but you turned tail. I've seen some criticism saying why didn't Kid and Killer do the thing where they both attack Hawkins because they could overwhelm him initially and then go after Big Mom. I think that's disingenuous, because this happens to the Straw Hats, where Luffy and Zoro, they're running somewhere, an enemy pops out, Zoro stays back and Luffy goes forward. It's the same thing here with Kid and Killer. Oda's trying to show you that betrayal, show that relationship, so I think we should just take it as it comes, right? We know how Hawkins operates. It's all about luck and likelihood. For Killer, he doesn't care about that. And I think for Kid and Killer, we may see some backstory in which they've had terrible luck. I mean, we saw a Killer, he had terrible luck, he had a smile, did not get any abilities from it. So I think luck for him has never been on his side. So when you have someone like Hawkins who's coming and spewing shit about luck, he doesn't want to hear anything about that, because Killer has had to get it out the mud. So he's like, forget your luck. I don't care about that, which is going back to Hawkins saying, you guys getting away from Kaido was extraordinary. Okay, then why don't you join us? This fight could be interesting, but going from Killer versus Kaido and Big Mom to Killer versus Hawkins is a precipitous drop in regards to my interest. Still cool, but I don't think Oda's gonna show too much, but it's down the list for me in regards to how intrigued I am. Yes, I think I enjoy Hawkins' fighting style because of how versatile he is, and I would like to see more from Killer, but we'll see where this goes. So Page 1 versus Nami, Usopp, and of course Ulti's involved, Tama and her Dango, etc. Very underwhelmed by this moment, especially based on what happens, right? Yes, I understand Tama's here to change the tide, and the thing is, this isn't bad. I just think it's been handled a bit poorly, where I would have liked to see Nami and Usopp come out with more clever ways or more creative ways to defeat Page 1 and Ulti. You could say Page 1 and Ulti are just too strong for Nami and Usopp, but initially we felt like Kaido and Big Mom were too strong for Zoro and Luffy and the Supernova, and they have found ways to grow and to land damage. And right now for Nami and Usopp, what transpires, I think it takes away from some of the setup, but I'll address that, right? They mentioned in Page 1 and his resilience, and that's something that is a trait of all Zoans, specifically the ancient Zoans. And the chapter also confirmed that if you eat a Kibidango, it's not going to affect you unless you've eaten a smile. Something I also wonder about, but you're a failure. Does it still affect you? Like for Killer, if he ate a Kibidango, will he be controlled by Tama? I'm leaning towards no, but something I was thinking about. But while Nami, Usopp, and Tama, they're running away from Page 1 and Ulti, they stumble into Big Mom. And Big Mom, apparently she has a mothering mode, where sometimes around kids under 10, she gets like this. Something that people are criticizing is Big Mom. She saw Momonosuke is about to get executed. She was laughing. She's interacted with smaller kids before, and she hasn't gone into mothering mode. I think the thing with mothering mode is that it can strike at any time, and it's not something that happens with all children under 10. The reason why for Otama it resonates is because Otama helped her, and of course Otama gave her food. So for Big Mom, that's the key to her heart, and of course Otama being under 10, it's kind of like a double whammy. So for Big Mom, it's going to affect her a bit more. People hate this moment. I hate this moment not because of Big Mom. I hate it because of what it potentially does for Page 1 and Ulti, but here's a caveat. I don't think Page 1 is done. Even though Big Mom has landed a Conqueror's Haki coded attack on Page 1, this dude has been so resilient, I'm willing to bet that he's still active. But the thing is, where do we go from here? Because Big Mom now, she's helping Tama, and seemingly she has betrayed Kaido. I mean, Kaido said pirates betray each other all the time, so I'm sure for Kaido, this wouldn't be a surprise. Even when they were talking about the poneglyphs, Big Mom was asking him where it is. Kaido said, you're showing your true colors already, Olin, or Linlin. So it's not that crazy. I'll say this for Big Mom. She's all over the place. She's unstable. She's inconsistent. Sometimes she's a mom. Sometimes she's not. Sometimes she loses her memory. Sometimes she loses her composure. But I think that's all built into her character. She is the unpredictable character that Oda can use in various situations, various modes, from amnesia to mothering to even starving, right? So Big Mom is that character, that unstable character. And I think that's part of the reason why she hasn't, I think, gotten to the point where she can become the Pirate King, because of just how unstable she is. And I think this instability comes from her past with everything that transpired back then with her friends, where she has to come to terms with that before she can move forward, because I think that ultimately is affecting her. And even before then, Big Mom was unstable. So that obviously didn't help. I mean, I think it's obviously leading up to Nami getting Zeus. Zeus has found Big Mom. Kid has found Big Mom, but Big Mom already has Hera. Nami was saying that she needed lightning when she's fighting Ulti in Page 1 before. So I think Big Mom moves on. I don't think she stays here, but we'll talk about predictions because there's a break next week. So no chapter next week, unfortunately. I believe for Golden Week. So we also see Ulti, and she saw Page 1 get attacked. Not sure if she expects to do anything against Big Mom, but that's where we are. Overall, a very interesting chapter. It's led to some apprehension on both sides in regards to the alliance, and Kaido and Big Mom, their alliance, but we'll see. I think this was very unpredictable. Nobody saw this coming. I mean, people had talked about Big Mom becoming an ally. I think Joy Boy has talked about that for years now while they're in Whole Cake Island, I think. So it's interesting how it's played out, where Tama, again, she has been the rallying force with the Smile users, and now she's done that with Big Mom. How long will this last? I'm not sure, because Kid is here now. Big Mom knows Kid is on the other side. Will she now help Kid? That's scary. So yeah, give me your thoughts, guys. Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BragoDAce. Follow me on Instagram at BragoD.Ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys all so much. Guys, like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
I start doubting me, I felt lost.